On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Squatter.
A person who lives in or occupies a property or land without legal ownership or permission. A person who occupies a place or position without having the proper qualifications, training, or authority.
Examples:
Squatter settlement. Urban squatter. The city has many squatters living in abandoned buildings or streets.
Urbanize.
To make an area more urban in character or nature, often through the development and expansion of cities or towns.
Examples:
Urbanize a region. Urbanize transportation systems. The government plans to urbanize the rural area by building more housing units and improving transportation infrastructure.
Favela.
A Brazilian shanty town or slum, typically located on the outskirts of a major city, characterized by poverty, overcrowding, and lack of basic services such as sanitation and security.
Examples:
Favela neighborhood. People in the favelas. Many favela residents struggle to access basic amenities like running water and electricity.
Statistician.
A person who studies or is an expert in statistics.
Examples:
Professional statisticians. Environmental statistician. The firm employs several statisticians to develop a recommendation engine.
Exaggerate.
To describe or represent something as better or worse than it is.
Examples:
Exaggerate in degree. Exaggerate story. She exaggerated the extent of her injuries to get more money from the settlement.
Hut.
A small, simple, and often crude shelter or dwelling, typically made of natural materials such as wood or mud.
Examples:
Shepherd's hut. Fishing hut. The little girl lived in a small hut in the woods with her family.
Corrugated.
Having ridges, grooves, or folds that run parallel to one another, often used to describe materials like cardboard or metal.
Examples:
Corrugated panel. Corrugated metal roofing. The corrugated cardboard was sturdy enough to support the weight of the heavy items being shipped.
Latrine.
A public or communal toilet, usually located outdoors or in the military, camping, or other semi-permanent settings.
Examples:
Outdoor latrine. Army latrine. During the exercise, the troops were forced to use a makeshift latrine in the field.
Electrify.
To make a machine or system work by using electricity, to make someone extremely enthusiastic about or interested in something.
Examples:
Electrify the audience. Electrify a manufacturing process. The product developed through years of research continues to electrify the market.
Feeble.
Lacking physical or mental strength, weak or frail, lacking force, effectiveness, or impact.
Examples:
Feeble attempt. Feeble excuse. The older man's feeble voice suggested he was not feeling well.
Shanty.
A small, crudely built, usually temporary house or dwelling, often used to describe a rough or inexpensive structure.
Examples:
Shanty-style lodging. Makeshift shanty. The beach shanty provided temporary shelter for the stranded tourists.
Shilling.
A former British unit of currency, equal to 1/20th of a pound, the act of promoting or advertising something, especially in a deceptive or misleading way.
Examples:
Sixpence and a shilling. 10 shillings. I found an old shilling coin while cleaning out my grandfather's attic.
Henchman.
A loyal follower or assistant, often used to describe someone willing to do the dirty or illegal work for a leader or criminal.
Examples:
Loyal henchman. A boss and henchman relationship. The criminal's henchman carried out his dirty work.
Confiscate.
To seize, take or appropriate something by authority, often as a penalty for breaking laws or rules.
Examples:
Confiscate drugs. Confiscate property. The security officer had to confiscate the weapon from the suspect.
Sponge.
A soft material with many microscopic pores that can absorb a large amount of liquid and is used for washing and cleaning.
Examples:
Sea sponge. Metallic sponge. The tiny marine sponge has existed for more than 500 million years.
Concoction.
The mixture, often a complicated one, a preparation made by combining various ingredients.
Examples:
Concoction recipe. Coffee milk concoction. The concoction of herbs and spices gave the soup a unique flavor.
Staple.
Important, basic, or essential to something or someone, forming an integral part of a particular diet or industry.
Examples:
Staple commodities. Staple ingredient. Rice is a staple food in many Asian countries.
Slam.
To shut a door or window noisily, to strike something violently or noisily.
Examples:
Slam the door. Slam the book against a wall. She slammed the door shut, angry at the person on the other side.
Perspire.
To sweat, To produce moisture on the skin as a result of physical exertion, heat, or stress.
Examples:
perspire heavily, perspire under pressure. Whenever I think about speaking in front of an audience, I start to perspire.
Aft.
The opposite of forward, located at or towards the rear or back of a ship, aircraft, or other vehicle.
Examples:
aft cabin, aft view. The aft section of the ship suffered significant damage after the collision with the reef.
Straighten.
To make something straight or orderly, to adjust or fix something crooked, bent, or misaligned.
Examples:
straighten out a problem, straighten a crooked picture. I need to straighten my hair before I go to the party.
Glare.
To shine with a bright, harsh, or dazzling light, to stare fiercely or angrily, often with a piercing or threatening gaze. Noun, a strong, bright, and often harsh or uncomfortable light that can be blinding or difficult to look at directly.
Examples:
the glare of the sun, glare at my opponent. The sun glared down on us, making it difficult to see without squinting our eyes.
Mound.
A raised area of ground or dirt, often used for burial, construction, or as a fortification, a large, rounded pile or heap.
Examples:
mound of dirt, burial mound. The team discovered a hidden mound in the desert.
Watery.
Full of or containing water, wet.
Examples:
a watery fluid, go to a watery grave. The soup was too watery and needed more flavor.
Ooze.
To flow or seep out slowly, often in a thick, viscous manner, to exude or emit slowly and steadily.
Examples:
ooze from the speakers, ooze with confidence. The wound on his leg continued to ooze blood even after he applied pressure.
Pass.
No longer fashionable or current, outdated, considered to be old-fashioned or out of date.
Examples:
passé entertainment, passé trend. Bell-bottom jeans, once considered passé fashion, have made a surprising comeback in recent years.
Barefoot.
Without shoes or other foot coverings, wearing nothing on the feet.
Examples:
barefoot walk, barefoot fashion. The barefoot hiker enjoyed feeling the earth beneath their feet.
Muck.
Dense, wet, and dirty matter or waste, often found in soil or on the ground, animal waste.
Examples:
construction muck, muck on clothes. The horses waded through the muck in the field after the rainstorm.
Scatter.
To cause to separate and go in different directions.
Examples:
Scatter seeds. Scatter around the internet. The hunter's approach scattered the geese.
Rancid.
Having a bad taste or smell because it is old and no longer fresh.
Examples:
Turn rancid. Rancid oil. The food had a rancid smell and was inedible.
Atop.
On, to, or at the top.
Examples:
Stand atop. Sit atop a stack of books. The eagle perched atop the tallest tree in the forest.
Squat.
To crouch or sit with one's knees bent and one's heels close to or touching one's buttocks. To occupy a space, usually a place that is not designed for human habitation or use. Noun, a physical exercise that involves holding a position similar to sitting with the knees bent and the thighs parallel to the ground.
Examples:
Squat behind a tree. Squat exercise. I need to squat down to pick up the pen from the floor.
Defecate.
To excrete waste material from the body through the anus, to pass feces.
Examples:
Cause an impulse to defecate. Defecate out in the open. It is important to clean up after your pet when they defecate in public areas.
Constrain.
To restrict or limit someone or something's freedom or ability to do something.
Examples:
Constrain his freedom. Constrain information flow. The political situation constrained the country's economic growth and foreign relations.
Radiate.
To spread out or emit something, such as light or heat, in all directions.
Examples:
Radiate an aura. Radiate in all directions. Roads radiate from the famous building in the center of the city.
Monsoon.
A seasonal wind system that brings heavy rainfall to a region, typically occurring in tropical areas.
Examples:
Monsoon season. Monsoon current. The monsoon rains often bring relief to areas suffering from drought.
Top.
Short for tarpaulin, a large, heavy piece of waterproof material, often made of canvas or plastic, used to cover or protect equipment, vehicles, outdoor living spaces, or other objects from the elements.
Examples:
Heavy-duty tarp. Polyethylene tarp. The painters spread a tarp over the floor to avoid splattering paint.
Scavenge.
To search for or gather useful material, particularly food or other resources, from discarded waste or other sources.
Examples:
Scavenge for food. Scavenge for iron scraps. The raccoon scavenged through the garbage cans in search of food.
Terror.
A Latin word meaning earth or land, often used in scientific or technical contexts to refer to the planet itself or the soil or ground of a particular area.
Examples:
Terracotta, terra firma. Scientists study the terra of other planets to learn more about their formations and compositions.
Plaster.
A substance made of lime that becomes hard as it dries and is used for the protective or decorative coating of walls and ceilings, and for molding and casting decorative elements.
Examples:
Daub the ceiling with plaster. Cracks in the plaster. Patience is the plaster of all sores.
Cantilever.
A long projecting beam or structure that is anchored at one end and carries a load at the other end, often used to support balconies, walkways, and bridges.
Examples:
Cantilever beam. Cantilever bridge. The designer utilized a cantilever technique to create a sleek and modern staircase.
Obstruction.
Something that blocks the path or progress of something else, an obstacle or barrier that impedes movement, action, or progress.
Examples:
Airway obstruction. Obstruction of justice. The tree branch in the middle of the walking path created an obstruction for pedestrians.
Hillside.
The sloping side of a hill or mountain, a landscape feature characterized by a natural gradient or incline.
Examples:
Hillside landscape. Hillside vineyard. The hikers were stunned by the beautiful wildflowers on the hillside.
Hump.
A rounded lump or bump, especially on an animal's back.
Examples:
Get the hump. Spinal hump. The camel's hump is where it stores fat to survive in the desert.
Foreground.
The part of a view, picture, etc., that is nearest to the viewer.
Examples:
Foreground segmentation. Foreground galaxy. A happy group of friends occupies the foreground of the picture.
Mango.
Tropical fruit with smooth, juicy flesh and a large, hard seed in the middle.
Examples:
Ripe mango. Fresh mango. She cut the mango into small pieces and added them to the salad.
Awning.
A sheet or canvas stretched out on a frame and used to provide shade or shelter, particularly over a window, door, or pathway.
Examples:
Window awning. Retractable awning. We set up an awning outside to provide shade during the summer months.
Plankton.
Tiny forms of plant and animal life that live in water or air on which other animals feed.
Examples:
Plankton blooms. Plankton community. Plankton is generally the foundation of the ocean food chain.
Evict.
To expel someone from a property, especially with the support of the law.
Examples:
Evict a person from his home. Evict squatter. The landlord may evict tenants for violations of the lease agreement.
Complication.
Something that makes a situation or condition that is complex or confused.
Examples:
Complication of structure. Resolve without complication. He also continued to struggle with serious long-term complications.
Outspoken.
Frank and candid in speech or expression, not afraid to speak one's mind or voice one's opinions, even if unpopular or controversial.
Examples:
Outspoken critic. Outspoken journalist. She was known for being outspoken and speaking her mind.
Itinerant.
Traveling from place to place, moving from place to place.
Examples:
Itinerant labor. Itinerant musician. The itinerant traveler visited many countries on his journey.